What's going on, guys? Let me tell you something right now. If you guys are looking to keep your home, skin, hair smelling fresh and clean, then you need pound for pound the best fragrance products in the world, and that is Ash Kicking. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Boy, it has been a hell of a night, hasn't it? Oh my goodness. I mean, you were talking about, according to ESPN at least, it can be argued that two of the best fighters in the last 25 years, pound for pound, the greatest fighters in the last 25 years, top 25, according to Dan Raphael in the gang over there at ESPN, it could be argued that both of these fighters lost tonight. Now, I have to say, when it comes to the Golovkin fight, I'm actually surprised that so many people are openly coming out and saying that was a straight up robbery. I seen one comment on the video I just dropped where a guy said, I'm a huge Golovkin fan, but I have to admit, Danny Jacobs was robbed tonight. I was surprised to see that because I felt with Danny Jacobs being on a coincidental list, people would try to make it seem like, oh, Danny Jacobs, he didn't do enough. All Danny did was run and et cetera, et cetera. I figured they would make up all type of stuff and use all type of code words to defend Gennady Golovkin. And I'm sure some of the decafs are gonna do that. But to my surprise, there have been a lot of people coming out saying Danny Jacobs was robbed in that fight, okay? I mean, I thought that he did enough to win the fight, and I felt Golovkin was definitely further exposed in this fight. Golovkin, he has a problem with engaging with fighters that have the same type of power that he has. Now, when it comes to Roman Gonzalez, he has a similar problem, but it's not the exact same type of problem. Because Roman, unlike Golovkin, Roman, he can actually exchange with a fighter while that person is throwing punches. So basically meaning he can land his shots while the other guy is throwing punches. Golovkin can't do that. Golovkin, he'll just stay there, or sometimes he'll just back up and he'll just hold his hands up and just wait until you stop punching. That's not Roman Gonzalez. But where the parallels come in is the fact that both Roman Gonzalez and Golovkin, they are the type of fighters that rely on their power to beat you. So now that Roman Gonzalez has moved up to a higher weight class, he's facing harder punchers. He's facing guys that almost hit just as hard as he does. Matter of fact, some of them probably hit harder than he does. I don't really know yet. But clearly you can see a difference from how Roman looked, before he moved up in weight. No doubt about it. I mean, you had this guy, this Thailand fighter, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but you had this Thailand fighter who came in there and he was pushing Roman Gonzalez back the first half of the fight. Now, the problem with the Southpaw Thailand fighter is he was coming in like a rock'em sock'em robot, but the problem was he was standing straight up. He didn't have the type of natural athleticism to get his punches off and avoid punches. So eventually you could tell he was gonna get caught with something. And, credit to Roman Gonzalez, he kind of adjusted and he started going to the Thailand fighter's body. And that's when he started slowing down the Thailand fighter. But as tough as that Thailand fighter was, because he was as tough as nails, he rallied back. And he continued to put the pressure on Roman Gonzalez. He continued to let his hands go. But so did Roman Gonzalez. So the Thailand fighter, he pulled off the upset and he dethroned Roman Gonzalez. Now, of course, there's a lot of people saying that Roman won the fight, and this was a close enough fight to where I can clearly see Roman winning this fight. Now, the punch stats simply showed that Roman Gonzalez, he landed more, threw more, and he had a higher percentage. But see, this is my whole thing. I always look at what the motive is when it comes to a quote-unquote robbery. Because in this situation, everything was in Roman Gonzalez's favor. There was really no reason for them to rob Roman Gonzalez and give the fight to a guy that he was really just supposed to get in there and shake ring rust off. This was just a tune-up fight. So it was really no reason for the judges to just all of a sudden say, you know what, we're just going to rob Roman Gonzalez tonight. On top of all of that, Roman Gonzalez is a K2 Promotions fighter. He's promoted by Tom Loeffler. This was a Tom Loeffler card. So it doesn't really make any sense. On top of that, and third and least, and all three of the judges had the fight pretty much the same. I mean, of course, you had one judge that had the fight a draw, but all three of the judges, they had the fight very close. Usually when there's like a robbery, you know, you'll see one judge that will have the fight the complete opposite way that maybe another judge has it, right? For example, when Floyd Mayweather completely dominated Canelo Alvarez, one judge had the fight for Canelo, which we knew what was up on that situation, right? This fight wasn't like that. All three judges had the fight very close. On top of that, the Thailand fighter was able to knock down Roman Gonzalez with a body shot. And at first, I didn't think that Roman was that hurt, but when Roman decided not to stand up and take a knee and take the full 8 count, that's when I knew he was actually really hurt. And that goes back to what I was saying when I said that when you step up in weight, you're facing bigger guys. Now these guys are punching harder. So you can no longer just beat guys with your power. You see, when Roman Gonzalez is fighting smaller guys and he's naturally bigger, he's fighting guys like Brian Valora or whoever he's fighting, you know, he can walk through a lot of their punches, and then after a couple rounds, he can take them out. But with these guys, he can't just walk through their punches. That's why he got knocked down early in this fight. And that's why for the first time, we seen Roman Gonzalez actually backing up. He was on his bicycle tonight. You know, so say what you will about the decision. I don't have a problem with people saying that Roman won the fight, but this is what I will say. Whenever you are in a tune-up fight, you should never allow a tune-up fight to be this damn close, regardless who you thought won the fight. Why did Roman Gonzalez allow a tune-up opponent to be this competitive and to be this tough? It says a lot about Roman Gonzalez. Roman Gonzalez, you know, I was talking to my boy Milt before the fight, and we were having a conversation about this where I was saying that, you know, Roman Gonzalez, you could put him at the bottom of the top 10, but yet at the same time, you cannot, and I repeat, at the same time, you can't put him as number 1. This man cannot even dominate a tune-up type of opponent. I told my friend before this fight, because he was giving Roman the benefit of the doubt, he agreed with me that Roman wasn't number 1, but he was just giving him a little bit more credit. And I told him this, and I told you guys this as well. I said, mark my words, the Arroyo, I go all the way back to the Arroyo fight. I truly believe the Roman Gonzalez versus Arroyo fight, that was the beginning of the end for Roman Gonzalez. And I told my friend, I said, I'm telling you right now, man, Roman Gonzalez is not going to last that long. He's not going to last that long. And if he steps up in competition, he fights Inoue, or he fights Carlos Cedras, he may lose both of those fights. Now, I don't know if he loses to Carlos for sure, but I think he loses to Inoue. So, you know, and once again, you know, these are not even pound for pound fighters, but these are just good fighters. You know, I mean, he just lost to this Thailand fighter who is no Inoue. Regardless, once again, who you thought won the fight, he should not have allowed this fight to be close enough to where they could even take it away from him, is my point. Okay? So that's what it is, man. Top 25, one of the greatest fighters of all time in the last 25 years, according to ESPN, just got beat by a tune-up type of opponent. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.